The morning after the Diwali festival, the air quality has deteriorated yet again, and in some parts of the national capital, it has hovered around 900. Air quality index has gone higher, which means the air quality has deteriorated. Once again, we have returned to a time where we can clearly see the smog around us, and it is difficult to breathe. Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium, for example, that area, recorded an air quality index of a shocking 974 at one point. India Gate has recorded even 999. There has been an increase in pollution level that have been reported. India Gate, Lodi Road have reported high levels of pollution. Shreya Chatterjee joining me this morning on the First Up. Good morning, Shreya. Go ahead. What are the levels like? And we've had 2 to 3 days of at least some breath of fresh air with the rainfall that had happened. But we have returned to that. And of course, one of the reasons is because of the firecrackers too that we could hear and see were being burst. What are the measures that are being taken? What have the court and the government said? And what about the stubble burning? Because stubble burning, and not the firecrackers, but the stubble burning remains one of the top cause of pollution.
Well, Pooja, we saw the Supreme Court come down very heavily on the Delhi government as well as those who were actually responsible for the level of pollution in the national capital in and around. Now, the Supreme Court had refused to intervene in the cracker ban. The Supreme Court suggested that stubble burning has to stop immediately. Smog towers should operate. Odd and even not a solution, only an optic. Very strict observations that came in from the Supreme Court. Unfortunately, these are not being followed in its true principle. We do know that stubble burning still continues in Punjab. We did experience crackers that were bursted yesterday, refuting a cracker ban in the national capital. The result of it is the kind of pollution level where we are standing right now. The India Gate continues to remain engulfed in thick smog cover. This is the skyline across the capital. The air quality, as you rightly pointed out, at these areas touched the 900 figure as well. Now it has come down to 553, remains still hazardous. The only positive outlook from the entire situation is the weather condition. Because of wind speed being in favorable condition, we only hope that the PM 2.5 and the PM 10 levels actually settle out. If not, this is the kind of AQI level that we'll have to experience, at least for once again the rain gods try to bless us.
Stay on with me, Shreya, because here's what has happened in Delhi NCR this morning. Has reported higher level of pollution, and this is remember the morning which is after where many did violate the Supreme Court's order and were bursting firecrackers on the Diwali night. Now remember, there's already been pollution because of the stubble burning, and that's been heightened level, but the firecrackers have added to that as well. There is a deteriorating air quality. We are being told air quality index crossed 900 in some parts of Delhi. Visuals from Delhi NCR show a dense smog, so to say, not fog, has engulfed the streets. There has been poor visibility, and it is the pollution levels that have increased too. The situation was no different in Noida in Uttar Pradesh, Gurugram in Haryana, Ghaziabad. Visuals from across the national capital in different cities, whether in Haryana or Uttar Pradesh, have shown a poor visibility and also the difficulty in breathing. Now remember, with stubble burning that is on and the firecrackers also adding to it.
I'm at the iconic India Gate, which at this time of the year turns on into a parameter to judge the air quality levels in the national capital. As you can see, that thick smog has engulfed the India Gate. The AQI levels in the region are touching 999. This is the situation of a post-Diwali morning in a capital that did not follow a cracker ban. There are adverse effects of cracker pollution. However, the people in the national capital and the authorities refused to listen to it, played a blind eye, and that's exactly why we have woken up to a polluted morning with very severe PM 2.5 and PM 10 levels. Stay indoors and avoid any kind of activity, especially because AQI levels in and around Delhi have touched none less than the 900 mark. With video journalist Ankit Jain, this is Shreya Chatterjee for India Today.
Forget about the government order, forget about Supreme Court. The people gave so many different reasons to violate the rule and of course played with their own life. And all because of that, right behind me in Connaught Place, all over this area, is not just only visibility reduced, but also the very, very thick layer of haze, which is absolutely smog. You know, usually this terrain of North India, mostly gripped with the fog in every winter season, it just kicks in. But it is also mixed with the smoke, and that came out of course the other pollutant factors. But last night, because of the massive firecrackers burning all across NCR, Delhi, Ghaziabad, Noida, Mathura, Agra, Gurugram, you name any city, and there have been massive violations of cracker ban imposed by the court, imposed by the authorities. And all you see here in the national capital, this is the situation of smog. Absolutely, air quality index at multiple places dropping even more than 900.
Currently, the Delhi Police headquarters is barely visible from this iconic location of the Bangla Sahib Gurudwara. This is exactly how the policing body of the national capital, along with the authorities responsible for ensuring a cracker ban, went invisible yesterday. Delhi clearly refuted the cracker ban, which has resulted in a polluted after Diwali morning, where AQI levels are touching 900. There is a thick smog cover. It is increasingly difficult to breathe. And even as people want to play a blind eye, you cannot ignore that pollution from crackers also lead to the adverse effect. Unfortunately, a ban that was put in place was actually made a laughing stock. The video journalist Ankit Jain, this is Shreya Chatterjee for India Today.
So I'll now return to Shreya Chatterjee, who continues to be with us. Shreya, do tell us that this morning as well, what was the difference from yesterday and today, and what is the measures that could be taken in the long term? Are we again depending on perhaps Indra Devta's blessings of a rainfall, or could perhaps in the next few hours or few days it may continue to change? It may improve if the wind, western disturbances or the wind speed changes, but looks like the measures by the government, the communication by the government isn't really working.
Well, absolutely, Pooja. You know, on the ground, be it stubble burning, be it cracker ban, be it a construction ban, if there are measures that have been put in place, first and foremost, it's also the responsibility of the citizens to actually follow these measures in letter and spirit, and also the authorities who are responsible to see that these things are put in place. That hasn't really happened. We can blame it on anything, be it a cracker ban that wasn't followed, be it stubble burning that continues in the adjoining areas of the national capital. But that is leading to the level of pollution that we are currently experiencing, which is very hazardous. And we do know that there have been time and again advisories that's been given by senior doctors that if you have pulmonary diseases or if you're of a vulnerable age group, avoid going outdoors. Now, as you rightly pointed out, the measures following, there was also a discussion on the cloud seeding technique for a rainfall. Whether or not that will be pulled through is something we'll have to wait and watch. Also, we'll probably have to depend on the weather gods to bless us with the rain again. But the only positive change, Pooja, in the weather condition is that the wind speed, if you look back to last week, has improved. Probably if that helps us, we will see the PM 2.5 and PM 10 level going away. If not, we will actually have to wait for the rain gods to bless us once again.
All right. Thank you so much, Shreya Chatterjee, for the latest on that. So it remains to be seen if perhaps the next 2 to 3 days it will improve on its own or not. Thank you so much, Shreya Chatterjee, with the latest.